Hey, I'm here with Race Dupree, and
hello.
It's been a while since I talked to him, but a lot of people have been asking me questions about Facebook, Plenty of Fish, Match.com, and Race has always been a guy that I've respected his opinion and always learn a lot from him, so I figured I'd get him on camera to talk a little bit about the different sites out there, what's available, and what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. As you know, several years ago I came out with the first product on meeting girls on social networks like Facebook, MySpace, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is that story, the way it developed was out of necessity. I just moved to Las Vegas. I didn't have a car, I didn't have a job, so I had no way of meeting women. I had to meet them online.
Yeah.
And you know, just like everyone else when they're starting, they're like, oh, really, online? Like, that's weird, or how, like, it doesn't work, girls don't respond to me. And I had to figure all that stuff out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was going to be sitting at home by myself doing nothing. So, yeah, I've spent, believe me, out of necessity, a lot of time figuring out how to set up the profile right, what kind of messages work, what to look for on a girl's profile to see if she's, you know, a real person. Just a bunch of little things, like minor tweaks that had a huge difference. And so I'm excited to bring this knowledge out there, especially in the last 2 years since I launched that product. All that's gone into, like, even refining it more than that, and new sites that have developed and how things have changed. So
yeah, that's what I'm curious about. What, you know, is it still effective, so, like, going on these different sites, or is it like too many guys, or, you know, I've heard different things. I want to hear your opinion. You know,
my personal opinion is as crazy is that it's more effective now, far more, because it's become more popular. Mm-hmm. More, like, online dating has become so popular, and people are so busy and they don't know how to interact anymore because they're on their computers all day at work. They're addicted to Facebook. They're used to talking to people online, so it's a natural progression for this. And guys don't have a clue. Mm-hmm. So it's more accepted, and guys still don't have a clue, meaning it's far more effective than it was 2 years ago when I first came out with this.
Besides Facebook, what are some of the good sites?
Plenty of Fish is great. Mm-hmm. There's OkCupid as well. Those are two free online dating sites. And then, if you have the money, which I didn't at the time, but luckily I do now to do it, paid sites are even better. Because the girls are
Ashley Madison.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Match.com, JDate, Jewish, whatever you're into, paid sites kill it. Mm-hmm. There's even Craigslist. You can use Craigslist. There's so many options. Here's the thing. What I've come up with, the system that I've developed and really figured out through a lot of trial and error, is any site where you can have a profile and people gather, you can meet women.
All right, before we get into a couple of these strategies, what the guys that might be struggling with this, what are the mistakes they might be making?
Well, number one, setting up the profile. That's the beginning. You got to think of your profile, which, by the way, other than it being very effective, online dating is by far the best. Personal opinion. Like, I know it's great having the skill, as you and I both have spent time developing, to go out and meet people wherever you're at a bar or at a birthday party or whatever, and be able to see a girl you're attracted to, go up and talk to her, and set up a date, and that's a fantastic skill, and I'm all about it. However, I'm lazy as well. When I'm sitting at home already checking Facebook as I do, why not be flirting with girls? Or, it's just so simple. So to get back to your question with the profile, if you set it up right, you can be sending out these messages on all these different sites to these girls. You get to see what she looks like, you get to see what she's about, what she wrote, and you're like, oh, she seems cool.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. So you send out these messages. You could be asleep, you could be out at a party, you could be out hanging out with your buddies. You'll be filming a video right now, and these girls are opening up your message, reading what you say, instantly going and checking out your profile and getting attracted to you.
Nice. Yeah, I spend a lot of time online because I work online, and it's funny because I was telling somebody the other day, back in college, I was in a fraternity, and there was something in school called the Student Center, where, like, all the fraternity guys and all the sorority girls hung out, and it was like mingling and hanging out and always, like, flirting and talking. And now that I'm on Facebook, I see all the same thing, and it's like being back in the student center, and like the same thing, just like shooting over like little messages and flirting. It's really cool. I was like thinking, I feel like I haven't left college. This is great.
Awesome, dude. It's such a great way to keep in contact, and if you're into dating multiple girls, you can manage them all over the world. Honestly, I mean, there's girls that I know from all over the world that I still keep in great contact with, fantastic friends, and Like I'm popping up to Montreal in 3 weeks, and I have 2 girls, one I haven't even met yet, models up there, oddly enough, that are just like, I'm staying at one of their houses. It's just, it's mind-boggling, honestly.
No,
and then I have a girl up in Philly that I haven't met yet that's going to come down to this city. It's just, it's fantastic. It's a great way to keep on top of your social life, to meet women, to have the dating life you've always wanted.
Yeah.
And or find a lot of my friends have found their like girlfriends or wives on there too. It's just such an easy way to meet people.
What's like, where, like, if you want to get started with it and learn and be like, okay, I want to be serious about this, where can a guy sort of get going? Like, what stops them from seeing success? Because some guys say, I tried it and it didn't work.
Yeah.
What did they do wrong, and what can they do that might help them?
All right, two things that they're doing wrong from the get-go. And without these, you won't even get off the ground. Mm-hmm. And this is where most guys, where I wanted to give up when I started. Yeah. One, setting up your profile right. Because I'll tell you what, doesn't matter what you say in your first message, if it's anything at all, which I'll go into the two big mistakes guys do with the first message, she's going to go check out your profile immediately. And if you have it set up wrong, forget about it. And most guys, honestly, this is funny, they set up their profile for other guys. Trying to be cool, or like, I'll like say they're into like trucks or something, they're just like decked out in trucks. Like, it's like their room when they're a kid.
Yeah.
They don't realize, like, if you're doing this not just to show who you are, but to really meet women, you have to set up your profile in a way that's attractive to women, not to other dudes.
Yeah, I think it was actually you a couple years ago when I was talking to you. You pointed that out to me, and I went back and I looked at my profile, and I'm like, yeah, you know, like, I say always the inside jokes that make my friends laugh and my friends find funny, but girls go there and they look at it and they're just like, who's this douchebag?
I know, because they don't know. And it's so funny. And the other thing is, you got to make it as simple as possible for a girl to look at it, to kind of get a feel. Because listen, we all have ADD now. Thanks to like Facebook and stuff, we literally have ADD online. We can't. If anything takes too much effort, we just go to the next. And so the same thing with your profile. If it's like hard to read or mismatched, or the colors are off, or you write this like long paragraph, it's like too much. I'll come back to it, which they never do. They'll click away. So, and these are all principles that I go through and how to make it. And I even give templates. Like, so you can literally copy my profile, and it's so successful, it's going to blow your mind. But a girl's going to go from your first message, click, check out your profile, and go from who is this guy to I want to know who this guy is. And that's what's important.
You mentioned guys messing up the first message.
Oh yeah.
What? Give me like a common mess up.
Well, here's the funny thing, because when I was developing this system, like, I got really curious of what are guys sending to all these girls.
Yeah.
So every girl that I successfully met up with from online, I had them send over messages they get from guys every day. And like, these are the same kind of girls. Like, I was in Vegas, okay? So who comes to Vegas to work like the hottest of the hot girls?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the girls that are, you know, the cocktail servers or the bartenders, the ones that guys are like, douchebag guys are hitting on them all day. Rich guys are hitting on them all day. That's why they come to Vegas, to party, have fun, hit on the waitress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, these girls make like upwards of $200,000 a year just in tips. It's ridiculous. They're that hot. So these are the girls I'm meeting, which, by the way, I probably would not have a chance in hell in person, because all these other guys who are better looking and have more money are, you know, throwing money at them, and they're not going to even notice me because they're trying to make money. But online, when they're at home, you know, sitting there in you know, their night, whatever they're wearing, for pajamas on the computer, guess what? I got direct access to them. My profile's set up right. My messages are great. They're like, oh, who is this guy? I actually have a shot. Online, it's the best. In my opinion, the best. So, but the one or two things that guys do wrong, because they would send me all these messages. They start forwarding, because they get a lot every day. If they're attractive on their online, they're getting messages nonstop. Two things are, it's either really short that goes something like this, very misspelled. It's like, you're so hot, we should talk sometime, but it's like, holla at me. Like, it's that kind of ghetto speak. Or it's like 5 paragraphs talking about like, this is what I do, this is what I've done in my life, I make this much money, here's what we should do together. Like, their life story. Both of which, like, one's like instant turn off, it's like, holla at me, like, yeah, sure, I'm definitely gonna write you back with all your grammatical mistakes and you're saying I'm hot. Okay, I hear that every day. Or it's like, I'm not gonna read 5 paragraphs of you trying to sell yourself to me.
Yeah.
So those are the two, guaranteed without fail, those are the two.
So what's like a game plan for a first message? What's a guy want to convey?
Well, I'll tell you what. more importantly than anything else, if you have your profile, I keep harping on that because literally when she open your message, she may read it real quick. It doesn't matter. She'll go to your profile. That's what's going to say. So on the message, all you really want is a response. If you can get the conversation going, you've done 90% of the work, honestly. So short messages are great. Short, out of the ordinary. You're not selling yourself. You're not telling her you're so hot. Like a new one that I came up with. I don't know if I should give this away because it's my favorite one right now. No one else has this. This is literally inside. You're the first people to hear this one. But I literally just messaged. My friends say I move too fast, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Will you marry me? Oops, I meant to say hi. Very basic, but it's cute, it's funny, and it starts a role play, which is a big thing when we get down to the different buttons to push that have to be put in place for a girl to meet up with you. But it's fantastic. And I have literally hundreds of these in the system, like tested over the last 2 years. I mean, some of these have leaked out that they're all over the internet. Like, I can do a search for my... I had a guy, believe it or not, this is so funny, show up at my house in Vegas as a recommendation of a friend of mine. He's like, oh, this guy's into this kind of stuff, you should meet him. He came over and he's like, we were talking, and he's like, yeah, so I started this online dating stuff. I was like, oh, really? Yeah, he's like, I met this really cool girl. Like, you know, I haven't really had a lot of success, but I used this opener. And I was like, oh, really? Just curious. Well, what did you send out? He quoted me my opener. I was like, dude, I came up with that. That's my opener. And he's like, got up, walked across the room and shook my hand. He's like, thank you. So it's like, these are really good openers. It's fantastic.
So just moving on, because we talked a couple years ago, I guess, did an interview, and guys still write me talking about success they had from that interview we did together.
Fantastic, dude. That's why I put this together.
And what happened was, it put me in a spot, because this isn't my forte, you know. Like I said, I send people to you and they ask me questions.
I appreciate it.
And what happens when I get these questions is I find a lot of guys, they get a response and then they freak out because they're like, oh shit, she responded. How do I keep the traction going?
Yeah.
So how do you build attraction over Facebook? What's your like game plan, blueprint?
Gotcha. 5 buttons you gotta hit. And I'm sure you're well aware of this, but number 1 is the curiosity button. You gotta hit that, and that's really what creates engagement. But that's with any attraction. Like even when you're out and about, like if a girl isn't curious about you, she's not gonna talk to you. You have to engage her. So you gotta be like, whoa, who's that?
That's true, because especially if a girl's getting a lot of messages on like a site like Plenty of Fish, there's got to be something about you that makes her curious enough to like read a little bit more.
Which causes engagement. That's the kind of thing you have to have that first, because she's got to be like, next. Wait, who's this? That's how any relationship forms at all.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you can do that, and that's going to be through your profile, keep harping on it because it's so freaking important to have your profile set up right, and so many guys do it wrong. And the second is like sending a really quality first message that sets you apart from all these other guys. You combine those two and boom, you push that button. Now she's engaged. Now you have a chance of moving forward. That's why you guys are having so much success, because you know they listen to the principles that we put together. And they did it, and she's like, oh, who's this? And wrote back. And now they're like, oh no, what did I do?
I need some more.
Which next step, you need to hit the playful button. You have to get her, really transition from that, who is this guy, into having fun, creating like flirtatiousness, which would be button 2. You do that, now she's like, not only is she like, oh, who is this guy? She's like, this is kind of fun. I want to keep doing it. And you move all the way down, so it's like, get it started, get her more interested, and then she becomes more involved, you know, flirting, and then, you know, move on to the next step.
Yeah, I agree. The whole playfulness and like flirtation, it's just like when you're meeting a girl out at a bar. She's out at a bar.
That's exactly
she wants to have a good time, and when she meets a guy, even if he wasn't her type, if he's being flirty and she enjoys it and she's having fun, she's gonna keep it going. And on Facebook, I can see the same thing, because even when I'm like chatting with girls, like the ones that are serious, and it's like, even if they're super hot, you just have nothing there. If the girls that are like know how to flirt back, it's like I could just sit there all day
because it's so fun,
right back to them. It's like,
and guess what? When you're the guy that they already saw your profile and they're like, this guy, he seems really interesting. That's the curiosity. Oh, and this is really fun. She's gonna ignore all those other messages in her inbox. I don't care how hot or how rich that guy is or whatever he has got going on. I don't care if it's Bob Dole.
What are some of the other buttons?
Well, after you get her, like, so she's like curious, she's interested, And then it's flirty, so it's fun, so she wants to spend more time. She's investing more in it. She's getting to know you. Then you gotta really hit the imagination button. We'll create some fascination. Like, flirty's fun, but flirty can end like that. You know, just as well as I do. It's just, it's very transient. Like, it's there and it could be gone in an instant.
Yeah.
So that's when you gotta drive that stake deeper and really start making a connection. And that's where the imagination, like, there's a bunch of different things that I put in the system, like how to create really fun role plays, how to like plan adventures together, like really start imagination. She starts imagining what it'd be like if you guys were hanging out together. Maybe if you're dating, maybe if you're married. Like, these are things she starts thinking about, and then it's like, okay. And this is all right on the way to meeting up.
So this is all just over a mixture of messages, just pinging her through like wall posts, just comment, just random little touches.
Oh, absolutely. And when they all add up, it turns, honestly, to the point when you meet up, it's like, I feel like I've known you for a long time, and you've never met her before, which is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, and that is something that you, a couple years ago when I talked to you, you took that, because I was telling you that I didn't have a lot of success with online games. It's the one thing I wasn't able to figure out. And what happened, and one of the things is when I met the girl, I would almost treat her like a stranger.
Exactly.
Hadn't built up any rapport or anything. And we would go right back to like that message that I sent you, and there was no like immediate sense of rapport. But
yeah, so that's exactly what I go through the book. Like, the next one would be, you know, the safety button. So if she's now imagining you guys together, but she has to. I mean, still, even though it's becoming far more accepted, it's still, I don't know.
Still horror stores,
I don't know this person. It's online, so you have to build. You have to push that safety button and create some trust, and that's all about. There's a bunch of small little things you can do. It's about the way that you end up inviting her, the kind of things you invite her to do. There's just all these like psychological things.
Throw out what's one good example of something that is a good first invite? Like, if a guy wants to, you know, he hasn't hung out with her yet, and he just wants to go for like the first in-person thing. Just give me one off the top
Sure,
of your
dude.
head.
Most guys, when they invite a girl out, they treat it like they're guy friends.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if I was to hang out, you'd be like, "Hey, you want to grab a beer?"
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
Done. We meet up and have beer. You know, it's not the same way. So they'll send out the same invite to a girl. "Hey, do you want to do this?" And it doesn't work that way, because she hasn't met you. She doesn't know you. Yes, she's engaged. She's excited. She's obviously attracted to you, which is another great thing that you already know, because if the fact that she's giving you her number and setting a date, she's like already attracted. So you get to meet up with a girl you already kind of know, and she's guaranteed attracted to you, or else you wouldn't be doing it. It's fantastic. But one of the biggest things is invite her to do something public. I mean, that seems like it's a no-brainer, but a lot of guys don't know that. So there's something public, something you're already doing, seeding the invite. So pretty much before you even invite her,
let her know like
all these fun things that are happening, and see like, oh, like one of my favorite things is like, hey, do you like this, this, and this? Like, for example, I used to throw like Taco Tuesday, like tacos and fiestas, and Tuesdays are good days. So I'd be like, hey, do you like tacos, tequila, like laughter, and good company? Who's gonna say no to that? So when she says yes, she's like, yeah, I love all those things. Oh, then I might invite you to whatever. It's these subtle things that make her go, wait, who is this guy? And it just feels so comfortable to do it.
So part of the trust too is not being like super overeager for the meeting.
Absolutely, absolutely. So and there's like probably 10 or 20 different things to keep in mind when you're doing an invite from online to get her just so pretty much you're getting her to the point from should I meet up with this guy to this is definitely the best possible option for me tonight. Like, because if she's an attractive girl...
You know, it's just funny you're saying that, because I'm thinking back. This was on Match a couple years back, and this was like the hottest girl that I ever was going back and forth with. And she found me, and she would call me, we'd talk on the phone, but I couldn't get her to meet me. And I just couldn't figure it out. I'm like, she keeps calling me, she keeps writing me more messages, but she doesn't want to meet. And now that you're saying that, I'm like, every time I tried to meet her, I just probably was like over eager and just like, hey, come grab some beers or whatever. But
there's cover all that because there's a lot of things.
What's the next one? What's the fifth button?
Well, the final one, of course, when you meet up, you don't want to just be Facebook buddies or Match buddies. Like, hey, what's up? you want to push her arousal button and create some desire. And you can pepper this all in during it.
Yeah.
And there's little small, like subtle techniques to really get her start thinking about like making out with you or touching or kissing, all these things that already have to be going before you meet up, and then when you do meet up, dude, you don't want to be that awkward date. So I go into like how when you meet up, just to like build off of all this, like, these great imagination stuff, that like this relationship that's already formed.
Yeah, just treat
even
it
if
as
it's a fake one.
Yeah,
it's real in her mind, and how to use that as a building block so that when you meet up, it's like your third date. So you're just like skipping the line, dude, and it's fantastic. Absolutely. In fact, there's a statistic, and I don't remember what it is, but I'll have to look it up. We'll get it to you. It's like women who meet up with guys offline are ridiculous percentage more likely to sleep with you on the first date.
Yeah,
Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see it, but I had a friend who, I'm not going to say him, even though some people might know. He wasn't that great in person. His game, like when we go out, was like hit or miss. Yet on Match.com, he would literally sleep the first night. Every time he met a girl, he would have like first night sex because he built it up so much before you meet him. And I'd be like, how can you do that? You're so average. You're
absolutely. And that's exactly why. Because if you've hit all of these buttons, by the time she meets up, it literally is like your third date. So you do get to skip all that. And it's like, she feels like she's known you longer. She feels more comfortable around you. She's already turned on. She feels, safety. She's curious, fascination. All these things are hit. So the time she meets up, it's like literally like the third date or more. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I know that some people listening might have been aware that you're putting out something coming out, a product coming out. You want to just kind of let us know a little bit about it, what it is,
Absolutely.
What else it's going to contain?
It's cleverly named Push Button Dating because, after doing this all this time and like breaking it down, those are literally, we just went over the 5 buttons you have to push in order to be really successful in meeting women online. And so I break down every single one, how to do it. It's a roadmap, and it's also the, push button in the sense that it's that easy.
Yeah.
It's almost like pushing a button. You just follow these steps, and I mean, copy and paste almost. We have so much material that you can use and mold to your own personality that it really is that easy. And so I'm very, very excited to have this out there because the kind of testimonials I get back from guys have just been mind-blowing to me. I didn't even know it was that successful. I just wanted to share my ideas, and it's really grown into sort of a cold fall. Because they have, guys who have were virgins before, now they're not anymore, or guys who've never had a girlfriend before, or who were so socially shy that they couldn't go out, and now they can send it because there's no fear of rejection because they're just sending out a message, and really falling in love with girls from wherever, and getting their first girlfriend, or honestly meeting their wife. It's just been fantastic. I feel blessed that I'm a part of it, honestly.
Yeah, no, and I can imagine how this is because, like I said, I knew your previous little endeavor with social dating sites and stuff, and from what I hear, this is like that on steroids.
It is. It's everything in the last few years that I've worked on past that, and all the new secret things that I've added on top of that, because it's 2 more years
of learning. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, exactly, and then all the new sites that are brought in, so it's just far more opportunity.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to it, definitely. Because got a girlfriend right now, but I always need that little insurance policy. So I highly recommend you guys check out Push Button Dating. This guy, like I said, for the past couple years, he's the guy that I send anybody who has questions about Facebook, MySpace, any of those sites, and I get messages back from everybody going, holy shit, that worked. That opener that you gave me, or I'm like, no, thank Grace, don't thank me. So check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to have you guys in. Once again, if it doesn't work for you, which that is mind-blowing to me, 365, you have a whole year to try it out. If it doesn't work out, gladly give you your money back. Because I believe in it that much.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I don't think you'll have any problems. From everything I've ever seen you put out, I know guys just love it and get results from it. So
awesome. Well, thanks for having me on, man.
Yep.
It's always a pleasure.